And here I am again now showing you how to divide the expressions because now there's letters involved and some of you may get confused on how to do it. Actually, jumping down to number 3, what you've got to do now, which I wish I was there to teach you, is rationalize the denominator. What that means is number 3 isn't considered proper because there's a radical in the denominator. You can't have a radical underneath the fraction sign. So the way we're going to get rid of that is, since whatever you multiply on top, you have to do to the bottom to keep it the same. For example, if I did, 5/10, you could times this by 2 and it stays the same, right? Everyone agrees that this is true? How's supposed to see a happy face? So we're going to use that same idea. I don't want the square root of 7 here. So to get rid of that, I'm going to square it. And squaring it means what I'm actually doing is timesing it by another square root of 7. That's the same thing as squaring this thing. So if I'm timesing the bottom by the square root of 7, I have to do it up here too. So that's how we rationalize the denominator, is if there's a square root underneath, multiply the top and bottom by that, because then what do we end up with? On the bottom, it's square root of 49. Top is square root of 21. This is 7. There. That is your answer. That is considered simplified because 21 just breaks up into 3 and 7. Can't square root any of those. That's your answer. So that's how you rationalize the denominator. So there's your answer for number 3. Going back to the very first question, where it says 21b squared or 48b, well, I'm going to go ahead and break up that 21 into b squared. And the bottom one is 48 divisible by 21. No, it is not. But it is divisible by 4. Is it divisible by, oops, that's not what I meant to do. 16? Yes, it is. So I'm going to rewrite that as square root of 16 times the square root of 3. And then what was there? A square root of b? This is going to be a mess. That's okay. So this square root of 16 is going to get replaced by, I'm going to actually do that. So this is going to be replaced by, well, first, that gets canceled. So now you have a regular b, not in the square root sign. Down here, this gets replaced by 4. So what we actually have here is b square root of 21 over 4 square root of 3b. It looks like we're done, but here's the problem. You can't have that. So what do? We have to multiply the top and bottom by that square root sign. So let's do that. So here's that. Now I have to multiply this by 3b because I don't want that square rooted. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So the top ends up being b times the square root of, what was that? What was 3 times 21, 63. And this, you can square roots. I'm going to run out of time here. Well, I'll finish this in a second.